Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning, Samba K.
Rise and shine.
Clams and Moose taking over Cabin Radio Station today in honor of International Women's Day yesterday.
Yeah, we're taking a celebration, doing a celebration for the belated International Women's Day.
Yeah, since there was no morning show yesterday, we asked the guys if we could take over today.
Yeah, so we are kindly letting them sleep in.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I hope they're kind of listening. But probably not. Today's show is brought to you by Dragon Toner, celebrating 10 years by supporting Yellowknife community groups. This month, Dragon Toner is supporting Arctic anglers. Find out more about the Family Fishing Derby coming up on April 4th by going to nwtarcticanglers.ca. So Clams, we got a lot of amazing woman artists coming up over the next 2 hours.
Definitely. Is this thing going to be playing the birds? And
I know.
I've never been up this early.
Yeah. That's Blackie waking up with us.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a great couple hours ahead. We've got some special guests that will come in and speak with us. So definitely stick around.
Yeah, it should be good. We're talking anything and all women because it is International Women's Day.
That's right.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Clams and Moose coming at you, taking over the morning show for International Women's Day.
That was Sylvanesso Coffee.
And we got all female artists coming up at you for the next 2 hours, actually, because we are also going to do 90s at 9. Oh, man. I've been waiting for this day.
I know you have. It's all about the ladies this morning.
And this show is brought to you by Dragon Toner. They are donating $10,000 all together. But every month they're picking a different group from town to donate $1,000 over the next 10 months in celebration of their 10 years of being in business.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're going to be on the show later on, and we'll chat with them about that.
Great. I have to say that that salt spray that you use is really, really doing its thing this morning.
Oh, it's because it's very, very fresh.
You've got a wave, especially very appropriate for the 90s at 9 hosting.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the 90s bang going on.
I'm all part of the look. Yeah.
Yeah, you're an old soul. Okay. Well, here we are. We've got the keys to Studio One.
Dun, da, da, da.
We've taken over the playlist.
Locked out the boys.
Yep. When the cat's away, the mice will play. So it's belated International Women's Day, but again, like we said, every day is Women's Day.
Yes.
So it should be celebrated. We're not going to do a girls are better than boys, spiel this morning.
No, we don't need to.
No, we already know the truth.
Yeah.
But why don't we were talking about like inspirational women.
Yes.
Who do you got?
Well, I mean, we have the obvious choices of like, my mother and grandmas and aunts and all the like immediate women in my life who are amazing women and, shaped me to who I am today. But then we also have like other different icons. And growing up, there was not a ton of Aboriginal stars. But one for sure that definitely stands out, who we have on the show coming up in a little bit, is Buffy St. Marie. If there was ever a woman warrior, she is at the top.
Absolutely.
She's amazing.
She is. Did you have a chance? She performed at Folk on the Rocks more than a few years ago. Did you have a chance to meet her and see her?
I tried to, but it didn't happen. I was kind of waiting and hoping, but no, she went straight from the stage to the little teepee there.
Yeah. Well, and then because I was on the board or involved somehow with Folk on the Rocks, so I had access to the after party. Mm-hmm. And her performance was phenomenal. Like the energy that woman has is amazing. And she was at the after party and so Like, she's so kind.
Yeah.
And she stayed, I think, till she was like one of the last to leave. She was just so gracious.
Yeah.
And like, people were, of course, very excited to talk to her. And she spent the whole time just, getting to know the community. But definitely that is a good one.
Yeah. You're welcome, Cabin Radio, for putting that into your playlists for future uses. Eh?
There you go.
Good old Buffy.
Should we segue into Buffy? Should we play our track? Do we want to talk about more things, or what do you think? We do whatever we want.
Yeah, well,
We're in charge.
we can.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? What's some, you were saying yesterday, an inspiration?
Yeah. And I've been thinking about that. I haven't really, narrowed in on anybody specifically. Like,
yeah.
I mean, people that nobody would necessarily know.
Mm-hmm. What was that lady's name that you said you were watched that TEDx talk?
Brené Brown. She's kind of like the Oprah of the times.
Right.
Yeah, she's just a very wise woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she had this. It was TED Talk a few years ago about the power of vulnerability.
Okay.
And so that was like my first introduction to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that talk, I mean, it's become quite popular. If you haven't heard it, I highly recommend it. It was, for me personally, quite life-changing.
Yeah.
Because vulnerability should not be seen as weakness.
Right.
It's actually a strength. Who knew?
It's a very powerful thing, being vulnerable, and like vulnerability in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny when things like that you read or see, and it's just like, holy man, that was like bang on. Like, are you reading my mind?
Totally. Yeah. No, and so yeah, that's kind of been like it definitely was a turning point for me.
Mm-hmm.
Embracing the vulnerability.
Yes.
And not having to be, strong all the time.
Yeah.
And be able to show emotion. It's not a bad thing.
No. Well, and even just to say that out loud. Just like even just
on
the
the air.
words. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Awesome. See, I'm gonna have to check this out. Maybe I'll tweet it out to our listeners, and so that if you haven't seen it, you can check it out.
Yeah, do it. But yeah, Brené, she's just seems like a really cool person.
Mm-hmm.
Has a really great outlook.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
We have a very special guest here with us right now, Madam Mayor Rebecca Alty.
Good morning, Clams and Moose. What an honor to be on your show this morning.
Yeah, thanks for getting up bright and early and coming on to be with us on the show.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed it was daylight savings yesterday, so having to walk here in the dark. And as somebody said, we only had 23 hours in our day yesterday.
I know.
But I'm sure we accomplished more than the regular day.
That's true.
Yeah.
100%. And you're Yellowknife's second female mayor.
Yeah, yep. Pat McMahon was back in the 90s, and then there was quite a long stretch, and even a long stretch between when the last woman ran for mayor and when I ran, which Cheryl Best ran back in 2000, and then I ran in 2018, but between those 18 years.
Oh, man, yeah. That is a long stretch.
A bit of a stretch, yeah, which it was interesting hearing from some moms after and talking to their daughters the day after the election, and they're like, yeah, Rebecca won, and, she's the second woman, and just kind of talking about how exciting it was for a woman to be in this position, and the girls were like, well, yeah, Mom, obviously a woman can run and do it, but just not realizing the long stretch that had been.
Right, yeah.
So I hope that for them, that's never a question.
That's
again.
amazing.
Yeah.
They didn't even think twice.
Yeah.
It was obvious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that, for the rest of their lives that can be the case.
Yeah, totally. How are you liking being a mayor?
It's good. It's I'm only halfway through my coffee. I should have had a full one. Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love the variety, getting to talk to so many different people about so many issues. Everybody's passionate about the issues that they come forward with.
Totally.
Attend a lot of community events.
Yeah, you're a busy lady. Sometimes I'm like, how do you fit that all in?
It takes some good scheduling.
Yeah. It's an art.
It is an art. Yeah.
And you're amazing at at your social media, keeping everyone informed and like, there's this going on. Like it's for, the size of our town, we are very busy.
I think we're punching above our weight class. There was, I was just at the Indigenous Cultural Gala on Saturday night, and there was a reporter from Montreal there, and she was just up here in the north doing a story on climate change and just was amazed at how multicultural we are here in Yellowknife. And I don't think you think that you're going to come to Yellowknife and eat the best Ethiopian food or, be 2 seconds away, you're walking on these great trails. So,
totally. Yeah, and I mean, and to add to your busy list already, you're a coach for a soccer team.
Yeah, I was the coach for the oldest girls for the futsal team for Arctic Winter Games.
Yeah.
So that was part of my weekend too. The disappointing news.
Should we talk about it? Should we even go there?
It's so tough.
Still salt in the wounds, but oh man, I honestly couldn't even believe it. I still don't believe it that they're just gonna be like, JK, back on.
I know. I'm like, I think they'll reconsider. And I was like, I don't know. I think the nail's in the coffin for this one.
Yeah.
And like, you talk about what's next or like, what can we do? I just don't know, because we go to get that competition with other teams. And if we had lots of teams that we could play our same age category, then we'd do that here. But
no, that's one of the struggles of living way up here. There's only so many kids that you can play against and in your same age, and
you really look forward to those showdowns again, like, Yukon got us last time, or can we defend our... So, it was going to be my 7th Arctic Winter Games, but for a lot of my girls, it was going to be their first and only. So
right, yeah.
It's tough.
Totally.
Geez, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry to bring you down this morning, Pamela. Yeah.
We've been talking about our, inspirations.
Yeah.
Female heroes.
Oh, I'd have to say my mom.
It's
always that
that's
cliche.
a blanket statement. So aside from moms
that's
and aunts,
the cliche. But I was like, she did so much and still does so much in soccer and all that stuff. Other ones, I think of Nellie Cornier, who's blazing the trail as the first premier in the Northwest Territories. Settled land claims and all this stuff that we're still grappling with today, but she was doing it for her people way back in the day.
She's amazing. I don't want to make you jealous or anything, but I do have a Nelly story.
Please indulge us.
Yeah. This was last year, actually. I drove up to Tuck for work, and I actually work with Nellie's son. Well, from the Inuvik regional office. So he was bringing some stuff up for his mom. And so we had to, bring the supplies, stop at her house. She invited us in, of course, and had just made like a loaf of delicious bread.
Yummy.
And I remember I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm in Nellie's house.
Yeah.
And I went to the washroom and I was like, I'm in Nellie's bathroom. I'm on Nellie's toilet.
Girl crushing hard.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I think I actually
Clams,
took a selfie like from the washroom. She is awesome. That is such a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is definitely has broken a lot of barriers.
Yeah.
And continues to do so.
Yeah. Well, and I think of, there's all the public ones, and then a lot of my friends or my sisters, and it's sometimes I think we think of those really big accomplishments, being the first premier, being part of settling a land claim. That's amazing. That's crazy. But then your friends have just these incredible attributes too that sometimes we don't celebrate enough.
Oh,
for sure. That's what we were saying. It should be a whole month. International Women's Month.
Every day.
Because there's so much that we can highlight and talk about of all the amazing things women have done, and it's too much to fit into one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying the old gratitude journal, but then also, sharing it with others and
absolutely
really letting them know that how much you appreciate them and why. Being specific in your feedback.
Yeah, totally. What was kind of like the first moment for you when you were elected mayor to be like, oh my God, I'm the mayor? Was there like some pivotal moment kind of being that it was just like...
I think what I do with my life is almost compartmentalized, so it doesn't feel like so much pressure on my shoulders. Because
Right.
when you're like, wow, okay, this is a big job,
Mm-hmm.
then it can almost like immobilize you.
Totally.
So I try to think of each thing as it comes, and looking at the bigger picture and all that stuff, but not to get weighed down in the big the bigness of the job. Wow, these are
Yeah.
good Monday morning words. But also recognizing that you're part of a team, and
For sure.
they got council, and it's the incredible staff at the city that are implementing our vision. So
Mhm. You got a tricky job.
yeah,
Like it's hard to, 18,000 people live in Yellowknife, and you're our mayor, and sometimes you got to make tough calls,
Yeah.
tough decisions, and
what I think the hardest thing is for folks to understand what the city does.
Mhm.
So people just come with all their problems, and
right.
you're like, oh, that's actually a territorial issue of
Mhm.
why I've been on the waiting list for surgery at the hospital for 9 months. And I'm like, unfortunately, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And some people can understand that the mayor doesn't have that jurisdiction, but
Mhm.
others are like, quit passing the blame. And
Yeah,
so it's a big education component every day too.
for sure.
And then, recognizing that you do have to make tough decisions, and that a lot of times people are just seeing one part of the issue and not the whole scale of what it actually means to make that decision. Like, why can't we just build subdivisions everywhere? It's like, well, then that's going to increase your taxes.
Yeah.
And you don't like that part of it. So,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of moving parts to
for sure.
everything.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no simple decisions. There's
Mhm.
always like X, Y, and Z you also have to think about. But it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you like sewer and garbage and roads and
Compost.
recreation compost, I love the solid waste facility. And
Yeah.
trying to like maximize that.
Yeah.
This is the job for you. If you like health and education, go become an MLA.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I think that's where people struggle. They want to help their community, but you have to realize which government does what.
Okay. Yeah. That's even good knowledge for me.
Yeah,
Look at that. Learn something every day.
exactly.
Even if it's bright and early.
Yeah, you'll
Cool.
retain it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dog stitches and dumps is the whole like mantra
Stitches
about.
and dumps.
Mhm.
That'll be your slogan for,
Yeah.
for the next time you
Like-
gotta run.
If you like good dog stitches and dumps,
Yeah.
I'm your lady.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming in and chatting with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Cabin Radio's morning show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Welcome back to Mornings at the Cabin. Clams and Moose here, taking over for International Women's Day. And yes, we know it was yesterday, but there is no morning show on Sunday, so we decided to do it today. And here we have Dragon Toner, the sponsor of today's show, Leanne.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Clayton
Morning.
from Arctic Anglers.
So before we get started, though, Leanne, in meeting you, this is the first time that we've met.
Yes, it is.
And we realize that we've got some mutual friends.
We do.
And speaking of, we've been talking about inspiring women, and Amber Fandrick is one of my dear friends. And
Yes, I've known Amber for a very long time, back when she was working at the law firm that I was working at before she began her overseas adventures.
that's right. And Amber is actually listening from
Across the pond.
Yeah, London, England right now. So a big shout out to Amber. You are one of my inspirations, honey.
Me too.
Okay, let's get to business. Why are we here?
Yeah, you're celebrating 10 years of business.
We are.
That's amazing.
we are.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And so because of that, you guys are you have $10,000 for $1,000 for each year of being in business. And every month you guys are going to pick a local organization, right?
That's right. Yeah, in celebration of our 10 years in business, we are running this campaign on Cabin Radio and taking in applications for the next rest of the year.
Right.
And giving away $1,000 a month to very worthwhile local organizations.
Awesome. So yeah. So what do they just got to write up a little email about?
Yeah, Oh,
about,
sorry.
sorry, about who they are, what they do, and what they could use the money for.
That's right. And we do ask that they limit it to one page
Mm-hmm.
and just convince us about what great things that they're doing and why we should pick them.
Awesome. And Arctic Anglers, you guys sent in an email.
Yes, we did. So we saw the call out from Dragon Toner, so I submitted the email and basically looking for help for our annual fish derby. So we started off. This is our 4th year in business, and so we started off just a small little Facebook event post, looking for families to come out and have a little bit of fun on the ice, and we were thinking. The idea behind it was to get families out enjoying time together, and with the donations and stuff that were made in the derby, they'd be going to like a local children's nonprofit organization. So that's the whole goal, is to continue to support children's programming throughout the north. So this year we decided to pick Food First.
Okay.
For our
Awesome.
as our recipient this year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and the amazing program. They provide food programs, breakfast, lunch programs for schools and children all across the north. So excellent program.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So that comes from all the profit you guys make for teams signing up and all that jazz.
Yeah, all the entry fees. Like we have silent auction. Like Robbie Craig's been a huge supporter of ours every year. So artwork from him.
Cool.
So many businesses.
You guys had a
across
ton
the north.
of people sign up last year, right?
Yeah,
There was,
so every year we've basically doubled
Mm-hmm.
our size. So last year we had about 400 participants out on Prelude.
wow.
And the first year we started out with about 70 on pontoon. So every year we're getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really cool to see.
Awesome. What was the biggest fish that was caught last year?
I think the biggest fish last year was about 9 pounds.
Oh, that's not bad.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but about 9-pound trout.
Yeah,
was
for
the
sure.
winner, yeah.
And when is it this year?
April 4th, on just off the Dead Ice Road this year. You'll see all our tents set up.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
nice-
so
nice
it's
and
even
close
closer.
to- yeah,
So,
nice and close to
man,
town.
you might get an insane amount of people there.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Cool. And
And-
where can people go and check out for more information about it?
They can go to our website, nwtarcticanglers.ca. We also have a Facebook group as well. You can check out all of the event information on there. And another thing that we did this year, which is pretty exciting, is we actually opened it up to more than just families.
Mm-hmm.
We opened it up to the whole community. With that being said, we kept it affordable for families. So anybody with a child under the age of 16 will be $20 per person. Anybody anybody without a child will be $40 per person. So
Awesome.
It'll just raise that much more money for Food First, which we thought was a great idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. And it's definitely an event that we're very excited to support. Their application jumped out at us right away out of the ones that we received, because it was doing exactly what we're trying to do, and that is, doing good in the community completely selflessly. There's no, this organization is just creating this event for fun and to benefit another group.
Totally.
So that really stood out to us.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, ice fishing is it's a great activity to do. Sitting around catching fish in the sun, especially in April, it'll be a beautiful time of year to be outside.
Maybe
And-
we should enter a team. What do you think?
Yeah, clams and moose and a big old fish. Clams and moose. I merged moose and fish together.
So should we do the official check handover presentation? How does this will be the first one.
This is our very first check, and we are very proud to be supporting NWT Anglers with our first $1,000 donation.
Okay, let's do a formal handover.
Woo-hoo! Drum roll.
Maybe a little handshake here. Everybody is safe in here.
I should take the check out of so it looks a little...
Sure. I've never done this before either, so
And just a reminder that we are still accepting applications, and you want to send that to dragontoner10@gmail.com. So that's dragontoner and then the number 10@gmail.com.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
This is Clams and Moose taking over Mornings at the Cabin for International Women's Day. The show today is brought to you by Dragon Toner, celebrating 10 years by supporting Yellowknife community groups. This month, Dragon Toner is supporting Arctic Anglers, a fishing derby. It's going to be held on April 4th. anyone and everyone's welcome, encouraging families to come out for the day and catch some fish. There's tons of prizes, silent auction, food. It's usually a pretty good time.
And they're doing it closer to town this year.
Yeah, they're doing it out on the ice road to Detta. So that'll be quite the scene to see, for sure. And you can go to their website, nwtarcticanglers.ca, to get more information about that. And Mornings at the Cabin International Women's Day episode coming to a close. We're almost
getting there.
Yeah. Thanks to the boys for letting us come on in and do the show.
Yeah.
Even though I hope they slept in, I do hope they were tuned in to see how we do. And know that we're always here if they need us.
That's right. If they invite us back.
Yeah.
So we've been talking. We had the mayor in.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, she is awesome. And I mean, times are a-changing. Like, women are definitely stepping up, with our local municipality. But, I mean, our whole government as a whole is leading the charge. We had a record number of women elected in the Legislative Assembly this year.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, personally, I feel like my gender has never set me back. I think that I've just been fortunate to live in, I don't know if it's just the North, but really be able to grow and excel and in my career personally. And yeah, what about yourself? Like you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yep. Going to be 10 years. Well, it is 10 years this year that we've been in business. And I mean, like you said, I've never really had any barriers myself of like being a woman because, just kind of just being me, doing our thing. But I mean, there's a lot of amazing role models in town, entrepreneur wise. We got Jeannie Rocher over at Quality Furniture, Leslie Bromley, Gourmet Cup. Just seeing women like them growing up, knowing that you can pretty much do it all.
Yeah, we've had some pretty powerful women paving the way. I mean, in the world, but also just up north here.
Yeah.
And my grandmother, she is doing well and thriving, and she has a lot of friends. Like a lot of those friends are like the Miss Rochers, like the women that have, those northern women that have been here basically their whole lives. And I think there's something to be said. There's an edge, we definitely, I mean, if you want to break it down to roles, I feel that there aren't really any roles up here. You just have to, it's all about survival and pulling up your sleeves. And really, I think the possibilities are endless.
Yep. Agreed.
So this episode is dedicated to all of the ladies
out there listening.
Yeah. So here's to strong women. May we know them. May we be them. And may we raise them.
Yes. And coming up, we have one of our own, Leela Gilday. I actually heard, I don't know if it was the debut of this song when I heard it, but we were in Ottawa. There was a showcase for the North there. And in this museum, I don't know, the room was like amazing. Anyways, so Leela opened up the night and she sang this song, and it was like, the recording just doesn't do it justice. But it was an amazing performance. Like you could hear a pin drop in that room. It was something else. So
yeah, well, she's an amazing powerhouse, and definitely sure to many young women a hero. I mean, she has definitely she's been doing this professionally.
A long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Leela, you are awesome. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.